Also, wound honored one, using this Vira Samadhi of becoming permitted with hearing and cultivating hearing, and using the miraculous strength of effortlessness, because I have a kind regard equally for all living beings in the six paths. I go throughout the 10 directions and have 3 periods of time, and cause all living beings who encounter bodies of mine to receive the meritorious virtue of 14 kinds of fearlessness. First, because I do not contemplate sounds for my own sake, but rather listen to the sounds of those whom I contemplate, I can enable living beings throughout the 10 directions who are suffering and in distress to attain liberation by contemplating their selves. Second, since my knowledge and views have turned around and come back, I can make it so that if living beings are caught in a raging fire, the fire will not burn them. Third, since contemplation and listening have turned around and come back, I can make it so that if living beings are floundering in deep water, the water cannot drown them. Fourth, since false thinking is cut off and my mind is without thoughts of killing or harming, I can make it so that if living beings enter the territory of ghosts, the ghosts cannot harm them. Fifth, since I am permitted with hearing and have brought hearing to accomplishment, so that the six sense organs have dissolved and returned to become identical with hearing, I can make it so that if living beings are about to be wounded, the knives will break into pieces. I can cause swords of war to have no more effect than if they were to slice into water or if one were to blow upon light. Sixth, when the hearing permits and the essence of bright light pervades the Dharma realm so that absolutely no darkness remains, I am then able to make it so that though Yakshas, Rakshasas, Kumbhandas, Pishachas, and Puntanas may draw near to living beings, the ghosts will not be able to see them. Seventh, when the nature of sound completely melts away and contemplation and hearing return and enter so that I am separated from forms and defiling sense objects, I am able to make it so that if living beings are confined by cages and fetters, the locks will not hold them. Eighth, when sound is gone and the hearing is perfected, an all-pervasive power of compassion arises, and I can make it so that if living beings are traveling a dangerous road, thieves will not rob them. Ninth, when one is permitted with hearing, one separates from worldly objects, and forms cannot rob the one. Then I can make it so that living beings with a great deal of desire can leave greed and desire far behind. 10th, when sound is so pure that there is no defiling object, the sense organ and the external state are perfectly fused, without any complement and without any complemented. Then I can make it so that living beings who are full of rage and hate will leave all hatred. 11th, when the dust has gone and has turned to light, the Dharma realm and the body and mind are like crystal, transparent and unobstructed. Then I can make it so that all dark and down-witted beings whose natures are obstructed, all Atyantikas are forever free from stupidity and darkness. 12th, when matter dissipates and returns to the hearing, then unmoving in the Bodhimanda, I can travel through worlds without destroying the appearance of those worlds. I can make offerings to as many Buddhas, first come ones as there find most of dust, throughout the 10 directions. At the side of each Buddha I become a Dharma prince, and I can make it so that childless living beings without the Dharma realm who wish to have sons are blessed with meritorious, virtuous, and wise sons. 13th, with perfect penetration of the six sense organs. The light and what is ill mind are not two. Encompassing the 10 directions, a great perfect mirror stands in the empty treasury of the first come one. I inherit the secret Dharma doors of as many first come ones as there find most of dust throughout the 10 directions. Receiving them without loss, I am able to make it so that childless living beings throughout the Dharma realm who seek daughters are blessed with lovely daughters who are upright, virtuous, and compliant, and whom everyone cherishes and respects. 14th, in this 3,000 great thousand world system with its billions of suns and moons, as many Dharma princes as their grains of sand in 62 Ganges rivers appear in the world and cultivate the Dharma. They act as the models in order to teach and transform living beings. They comply with living beings by means of experience and wisdom in different ways for each. However, because I have obtained the perfect penetration of the sense organ and have discovered the wonder of the ear engines, after which my body and mind subtly and miraculously included all of the Dharma realm, I am able to make it so that living beings who uphold my name obtain as much merit and virtue as would be obtained by a person who upheld the names of all those Dharma princes who are as many as the grains of sand in the 62 Ganges rivers. World honored one, there is no difference between the merit of my one name and the merit of those many other names, because from my cultivation I obtained true and perfect penetration. These are called the 14 powers of bestowing fearlessness. With them I bless living beings. Moreover, world honored one, because I obtained perfect penetration and cultivated to certification of the unsurpassed path, I also became endowed with 4 inconceivable and effortless wonderful virtues. First, as soon as I obtained the miraculous wonder of hearing the mind became essential and the hearing was forgotten. Therefore, there was no distinction between seeing, hearing, sensation, and knowing. I achieved a single perfect fusion, pure and precious enlightenment. For this reason, I am able to manifest many wonderful appearances and can proclaim boundless secret spiritual mantras. For example, I may make appear 1 head, 3 heads, 5 heads, 7 heads, 9 heads, 11 heads, and so forth until there may be 108 heads, 1,000 heads, 10,000 heads, or 84,000 vara heads. 2 arms, 4 arms, 6 arms, 8 arms, 10 arms, 12 arms, 14, 16, 18 arms, or 20 arms, 24 arms, and so forth, until there may be 108 arms, 1,000 arms, 10,000 arms, or 84,000 mudra arms. 2 eyes, 3 eyes, 4 eyes, 9 eyes, and so forth, until there may be 108 eyes, 1,000 eyes, 10,000 eyes, or 84,000 pure and precious eyes, sometimes compassionate, sometimes awesome, sometimes in samadhi, sometimes displaying wisdom to rescue and protect living beings, so that they may attain great self-mastery. Second, because of hearing and consideration, I escaped the 6 defiling objects just as the sound leaps over a worm without hindrance. And so I have the wonderful ability to manifest shape after shape and to recite mantra upon mantra. These shapes and these mantras dispel the fears of living beings. Therefore, throughout the 10 directions, in as many lands as there find most of dust, I am known as the one who bestows fearlessness. Third, because I cultivated fundamental, wonderful, perfect penetration and purified the sense organ. Everywhere I go in any world, I can make it so that living beings renounce their physical and material valuables to seek my sympathy. Fourth, I obtained the Buddha's mind and was certified as having attained the ultimate end, and so I can make offerings of rare treasures to the first come ones of the 10 directions and to living beings in the 6 paths throughout the Dharma realm. If they seek a spouse, they obtain a spouse. If they seek children, they can have children. Seeking samadhi, they obtain samadhi. Seeking long life, they obtain long life, and so forth, to the extent that if they seek the great nirvana, they obtain great nirvana. The Buddha asks about perfect penetration. From the gateway of the ear, I obtained a perfect and illumining samadhi. The conditioned mind was at ease, and therefore I entered the appearance of the flow, and obtaining samadhi, I accomplished bodhi. This is the foremost method. World-honored one, that Buddha, the first come one, praised me as having obtained well the Dharma door of perfect penetration. In the great assembly, he bestowed a prediction upon me and the name Quan Shi Yin. Because my contemplation and listening is perfectly clear throughout the 10 directions, the name Quan Shi Yin pervades all the realms of the 10 directions. Then the world-honored one upon the lion's throne emitted simultaneously from his 5 extremities a precious light which shone far throughout the 10 directions to anoint the crowds of as many first come ones and Dharma Prince Bodhisattvas as their most of dust. All those first come ones also emitted from their 5 extremities precious lights which were as numerous as most of dust and which came from the various directions to anoint the crown of the Buddha as well as the crowns of all the great Bodhisattvas and Arhats in the assembly. Groves, trees, pools, and ponds all proclaimed the sound of Dharma. The lights blended and crisscrossed like a jeweled silken net. It was an unprecedented event for everyone in the great assembly, and they all attained the Vara Samadhi. Then the heavens rained down hundreds of precious lotus flowers of variegated combinations of green, yellow, red, and white. All the space in the 10 directions turned the colors of the 7 gems. This star world, with its mountains, rivers, and great earth, disappeared totally, and all that could be seen were lamps as numerous as motes of dust, coming together as one realm. Pure praises in songs and trance spontaneously pervaded in celebration. Then the first common said to Dharma Prince Manjushri, "You should now contemplate these 25 great Bodhisattvas and Arhats who are beyond learning. Each has explained the initial expedient in his accomplishment of the way. All say they have cultivated to true and actual perfect penetration. Their cultivation is equal without distinctions of superior and inferior or earlier or later. I now wish to cause Ananda to become enlightened, and so I ask which of these 25 practices is appropriate to his faculties, and which will be after my extinction the easiest expedient door for living beings of this realm to enter in order to accomplish the Bodhisattva vehicle and seek the unsurpassed way." Dharma Prince Manjushri, receiving the Buddha's compassionate instruction, arose from his seat, bowed at the Buddha's feet, and basing himself on the Buddha's awesome spirit, spoke verses to the Buddha.